You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end,
what will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal, and Happy New Year, everyone. How are you, Jeff?
Oh, I'm doing fine, Neal. How are you?
I'm doing well. Matt, how are you doing over there?
I'm celebrating the new year. Feels a lot like the last year.
It does feel a lot like the last year. Ken isn't here to celebrate with us today. He actually, been climbing, as you've heard on the recordings, and now he wanted to try ice climbing in a place called Little Hope. And so that's what he's doing right now. So good luck to Ken ice climbing with no ropes or anything like that.
Yeah, I did a lot of ice climbing back in '91 on my Nintendo.
Oh, you did? And also when you moonlit as a ice road trucker.
Yes. Didn't last long.
It didn't. But it is the new year. I just celebrated a birthday and turned 30 years old. One of those facts is true. And
oh, you mean again?
And again, yeah. I had a nice weekend of the holiday. Did you guys have a good New Year's weekend?
Yes, there was some crazy stories. I can't really get into it for legal reasons, obviously, but yeah.
And you know me. Once I turned 30 again, I can't even stay up that late. So
flirty, 30, and thriving.
I know. I need like 2 days to recover.
Hey, that's all right. We all need some time to recover. And speaking of a new year, new voices, we have two special guests with us today. Our first guest is going to be a contestant partnering with Jeff. She's an Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon, coming to us from Greenville, South Carolina, and that is Kat Sokol. How are you, Kat?
Hi, I'm good. Yeah, not many plans for the New Year's, but, gonna try to drink more water this year, I think. I pretty much just drink coffee, so.
Hey, that's all right.
Coffee is 99% water, so you're doing fine.
That's true. That is a good resolution. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've been up to?
Yeah, so last spring I graduated from Appalachian State, and now I'm hoping to get into grad school, so I've submitted those applications and I'm waiting to hear back. So, yeah.
Congratulations, and good luck on all the future schooling you're doing and all the creative writing. It sounds really fun.
Thanks.
And thank you for joining us. And our special guest host today is a Rules Guy Impersonator on Patreon, coming back to us from Madison, Wisconsin, and that is Hayley Stroik. How are you, Hayley?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing well. We see you're wearing a Triviality t-shirt. I believe it's the Element one.
It is.
Awesome.
That's great. You identified an element, Neal. We're very proud of you.
Well, thank you. It's TP, known as Triviality Podcast, so that's one I know.
Toilet paperium.
Toilet paper, yeah, exactly. Hayley, why don't you remind folks what you do, what you're up to, and anything else that's new in your world?
Yeah, well, like you said, I'm from Madison, Wisconsin. I am a paralegal down here, and I actually just had some holiday fun out in Colorado visiting my step-siblings, which was really nice to do. Other than that, just kind of hoping this year is a little kinder to us than the last couple years. Yeah, I'm kind of ready to be back to normal by now, so...
I think we all are. That's great to hear, though. I'm glad you got to spend some time with family. I think we all had a little bit of that time, which was nice. But it is the new year, so before we get started, you might as well just go around the room. Any New Year's resolutions, Matt?
I'm only going to spend 80% of my income on NFTs this year.
Okay, so you're scaling back.
Yes, significantly, actually.
Just that statement makes me sweat.
Yeah.
Now, I have an idea for an NFT, but I don't want to release it on the podcast yet, so I'll tell you privately. But I think it's a gold mine.
Neal, that's NSFW. That's not an NFT.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Jeff. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
No. You know me. I don't believe in having resolutions that start or end with a calendar year.
The only resolution you believe in is 8K.
That's true. It's astonishing.
Yes.
It will blow your mind.
Kat, you said you wanted to drink more water. Any other resolutions?
Yeah, that's about it. I think that's a good one to focus on.
That's one I still struggle with after putting it on my reminders all the time.
Yeah, I think that is a good resolution. Helps the skin, helps your body. Can't go wrong there. And Hayley, any resolutions?
I'm kind of with Jeff. I don't agree with putting a resolution on yourself. Just kind of puts a lot of pressure on you, and then when it falls through, sometimes you just kind of feel guilty. So I choose not to.
No, that makes sense. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I don't do resolutions. I just do goals. And you know me, and I think the listeners probably from all the stuff I've been talking about, I'm very ambitious. So my goals, not resolutions, are to either write, produce, or direct a TV series or feature film, and get on the New York Times bestseller list. So I don't know if that'll happen, but I'm going to try my darndest.
Maybe release a book this year.
Maybe release a book. Maybe get people to read it. We'll see. That's my resolution.
In that order.
Yeah. Get people the book, but if they read it or not, that's up to them.
Wait. That'll be next year.
That's like how I feel like the podcast. As long as people are downloading it,
that's
they don't
true.
really have to listen.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you cook something really nice, you want to gift it to someone, but if they just throw it out right away, I mean, that's just their prerogative.
Like if you want to put our YouTube channel on in the background and hit play, you don't have to listen.
You can just hate listen.
You don't have to listen at all.
I'll put it on volume 1.
Just give me the plays.
Yeah.
Thank you
exactly.
guys. For everyone who does that, you won't hear this, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now, Jeff, you're going to be partnering with Kat today, and Kat has some really cool Shakespeare documents framed behind her, some advertisements for plays there. So did you come up with a team name?
Yeah, inspired by Kat's name and the classic playbills, I think we've decided to be Antony and Cleopatra.
Antony and Cleopatra. All right. And Matt, you and I are going to partner today, and you recently had a birthday, so just not too long ago, like a couple months ago.
A couple months ago, yeah.
Yep, and I just had my birthday, and what should we be?
Oh, clearly we are the birthday boys.
With a Z, like Biker Boys, the classic movie.
Because this is the first recording behind the scenes that we've done since either of your birthdays.
That's true. That is true. All right, well, we have the Birthday Boys versus Antony and Cleopatra, so in order to play the game, we got to know the rules. So let's throw it to the rules guy.
De regels van het spel zijn simpel. 20 vragen verdeeld over 2 rondes, waarbij elke vraag 10 punten waard is. Halverwege is er een speciale swingronde, ontworpen door de host van deze week. Na deze rondes beginnen de spelers aan de finale, met de punten die ze hebben verdiend. En hebben ze de mogelijkheid om 0 tot 30 punten in te zetten op 5 gecategoriseerde vragen. Aan het eind van het spel wordt iemand benoemd tot the cream of the crop.
All right, what a great rules read from our friend Willem in the Netherlands. And if this is the first time you're listening to Triviality, that was a Dutch rules reading of our rules. So if you really want to know the rules, just listen for the rest of the episode and you'll figure it out.
Guess what? It's not complicated.
It is not. Just answer questions, get points, and everyone's happy. So Hayley, feel free to take it away. We're ready to play today.
Absolutely. You know, it's winter, so it's getting pretty cold outside, a lot of snow out there. So I wanted to do a theme game this week, and that theme is going to be summer camp. Or camp triviality. So all of the categories are going to be named after kind of activities that you would do at summer camp, and hopefully that will, bring it back some fond memories of people's summers over their childhoods. So
do any of them involve chasing Neal with a chainsaw? Because that's my favorite thing to do at summer camps.
Hey, we're at camp. Just make sure there's no drugs and no fornicating, and we'll all survive.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right. So the first category is going to be archery. In the Hunger Games, the country of Panem is divided into 12 districts that all serve a specific purpose for the capital. What industry is Katniss's home district responsible for? I'm not sure she'd call her home Almost Heaven.
Almost Heaven?
I think you got this too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can lock in.
Okay, they're locked in. So PETA he makes bread.
Mm-hmm.
So I think his
and nude advertisements for animal campaigns.
He's very good at painting himself to look like live still art.
So in real talk, have you ever seen the movie?
Yeah, I read the first book, and I've seen the second movie is my favorite out of the movies, but I've only read the first book.
Well, those are 2 advantages you have over me.
So Katniss is from, she's from 13,
Catalonia.
from 12.
Oh,
she's from
from 13 out of 12 districts.
13, right? Exactly. She's from the poor one.
District 9.
Yes, District 9.
That's where the aliens are.
Where Charlton Copley is around. Yeah, so she's from the poorest one. And I can't remember if she's in the same district as PETA. Yeah, she is, because PETA bakes bread and throws it to her, like the remnants. He burns the bread on purpose so her family can eat.
I don't know if any of this happened.
No, this is true.
Okay.
So he burns the bread, and then you have Gail, who is a smoke show, but she doesn't go for Gail.
You throw him in the PETA pit.
So I'm trying to think. She's a really good hunter. She hunts squirrels.
Katniss does.
I think they're it's like a mining town. They're like
Almost Heaven.
What is Almost Heaven? What's that reference?
Casi Cielo means almost heaven. It's a coffee.
Oh, it is coffee.
Maybe it's coffee.
I don't think it's coffee. It's like something to do with. It's really like.
I always think it's coffee. I'm biased.
God, I'm. There, it's the poor one. It's like the mining town, and I can't.
Yeah.
But you just want to say mining?
Knickknacks.
Knickknacks? All right. We'll say you want to say knickknacks?
Yeah.
All right, we'll lock in that their specialty is the knickknacks of Panem.
As someone who's seen The Office, Matt, if I went almost heaven,
Nope.
West Virginia.
Oh, no.
And Kat, what are they famous for in West Virginia?
Mountaineers.
Coal mining.
Coal mining.
Yeah.
So that's what we locked in.
Yep, you guys are right. The answer is coal mining.
Oh, I should have just said mining. I knew it was mining. I just didn't think that was the answer.
It was funny, too, because I was like, they're all gray and dirty. And then I was like, coal mining. And then I was like, oh, right. Yeah, okay, got it.
Now, Kat and Hayley, my details were right, though, right, about the story?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Okay, good. So I wasn't crazy.
Okay, so question 2 is in the category of basketball. In Parks and Recreation, when Eagleton is being absorbed back into Pawnee, the Parks gang hosts the Unity concert. One of the acts is a cover band where all of the members are dressed as a red sweater-wearing NCAA coach. At the time of his retirement, he held a record of 902 wins under his belt. He also coached the gold medal-winning 1984 men's Olympic basketball team. Who is this coach? Bonus 2 points if you can name the cover band from the show.
That's the name of the cover band, right?
Yeah, and that's the name of the chair throwing coach.
Okay, we'll lock in over here.
Parks and Rec fan by chance, Kat?
I am, but I, for the life of me, cannot pull this right now.
I'm a huge fan. Angie and I did like a 5th or 6th watch through recently. I'm pretty sure that this is Bobby Knight. He comes up in the show earlier. Ron dresses like him when he coaches the kids' basketball team earlier on, and I think he has a poster of him on the back wall at some point too. The band is Bobby Knight Ranger. So, because for the band Night Ranger, they play whatever that song is. It's like 8 minutes. It's like Motorin, but it's not named Motorin. But we'll lock in Bobby Knight Ranger.
Jeff said all the things that we would say. That is correct.
Yep, the answer is Bobby Knight and Bobby Knight Ranger. All right, so the third question is in the category of horseback riding. The Pony Express Trail is recognized as a National Historic Trail. The 2,000-mile trail spans 8 U.S. states and celebrates the history of the young men who carried mail by horseback. For 2 points each, name as many of the 8 states that contain a portion of the trail as you can.
Wherever Genuine goes.
Genuine?
I'm just a bachelor looking for a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who wants to ride the Pony Express.
Right. In
West
Virginia.
West Virginia.
Blue Ridge Mountain. Shenandoah River.
I kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
Do you think it might be like through the middle of the continent or like more southern, or I'm just trying to get a feeling for where we think it might be?
I don't know why in my head it was like northern to like Midwest.
Ah, okay.
But I don't know. That's based on nothing. So
no, that's interesting because I was thinking it was more west, like California, Nevada, Utah, kind of something like that. Maybe Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri. That was kind of my area I was going.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, so they locked in. So our answers, we went Oklahoma, Nebraska, Colorado, Utah, Kansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, and the old Illinois, as they sometimes call it here.
Yeah, we did something similar. We said California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, and Illinois.
Well, Jeff and Kat, you got 7 of the 8.
Wow.
Matt and Neal, you got 4. So going as much from west to east as I could go. It started in California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, and Wyoming.
Ooh,
so it kind of curved back over, but all right. So question 4 is in the category of animal tracks. Like a lot of folks, I spent a lot of time during quarantine playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. Contrary to popular assumption, everyone's favorite loan shark, Tom Nook, is not a raccoon. He's actually an animal known for shapeshifting and trickery that is significant in Japanese folklore, especially in statues. What is this animal?
I have a way into this, I believe, so we'll lock in. And I bet Jeff has the same.
Kat, did you play New Horizons at all?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Was it Mario Kart? Like there was like a different version of Mario that was, I don't know if that's it, like, I don't remember what it was called or if that's anything or if you know it. Yeah.
I think it came up on the show before once. I think Ken mentioned it. But I think the name is actually leading in right kind of to it. I think Tom Nook is a tanuki.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what I was
a
thinking of.
Japanese
Yeah.
raccoon dog. So I think we're going to go with tanuki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Mario 3, you can, if you get a tanuki suit, you can press down and B and turn into a statue. So I believe tanuki is correct.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. It was the tanuki.
Wow. Have you ever seen The Wizard with Fred Savage?
Several times.
Yeah, they played Mario 3 in that. And Tanuki, famously from the Mario Shore.
Yes. Thank you for that.
I'm firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Beats my joke that I was going to make about I didn't have enough money to rent it, so I got the Wiz.
I don't think this was the situation for that, Neil.
How about we GTP, Jim Tannen podcast?
All right. The next question is in the category of sailing. What type of sailing ship is described as having a high square forecastle, 3 to 4 masts, carried both square and fore and aft sails, and up to 2 tiers of guns carried broadside? It also shares its name with currency used by Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Do you know any Harry Potter currency?
Huffle coin.
Is that true?
No.
I'm trying to remember.
Raven coin.
Oh, that's right.
So they don't pay with pounds in England, which you think they would, but it's it's a fake currency, I'm sure. So it's got to be one of the names that's in all the other stuff that they talk about.
Gold doubloons.
Harry. Oh my God, I don't know. I was just gonna say schooner, but schooners don't have guns unless you're very aggressive.
Well, what are I'm thinking of those, what the proper name of those pirate ships are, because that's what it sounds like, because it has the multiple masts and the sails.
Yeah.
I used to play this game as a child called Flying Pirates, where you would shoot pirates at a boat.
Oh, okay. Do you remember the name of the boat?
Of course not. That would be the relevant information. So I forgot that. I don't think we're going to get anything here.
I don't think so either. Do you have like a fun guess or?
No, I've made my jokes about.
All right, we'll just say we'll lock in with Muggle coin.
Mm-hmm.
Kat looked like you might have an in on this one with Harry Potter.
So the coins are a galleon, a sickle, and a nut, or a knut. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I think it's galleon, isn't it?
I think you're right. Galleon is like a type of warship. Yeah, I'm good with galleon.
Yep, and you guys are correct. It is galleon.
Wow, that is fascinating. I did not know that. Very good question. After 5, looks like the birthday boys don't have too much to celebrate for today. We have 28 points.
Except their continued existence. I mean, that's something to be happy
Yeah,
about.
you're right.
Exactly. We only have 28 points, and Antony and Cleopatra have 54 points.
All right, so the next question is in the category of jewelry making. What is the name for the green or brown film on the surface of bronze or similar metals produced by oxidation over a long period?
I'm fairly comfortable that I have the answer, Kat, if you trust me on it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we'll let them sweat it out.
Now, I feel like we just talked about this, because this is why the Lady Liberty is the color that she is.
Oh, that's a good point.
I did maybe just talk about this.
I know, Jeff just talked about it.
Were we
because
listening?
Jeff was talking, we don't know, which is a real problem. It's
I have no idea.
So despite knowing what it is, having talked about it, we have nothing. So we're going to say green rust. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, we're going to say green rust, yeah.
Kat, does patina sound right to you?
Sure.
All right, that's what I think it is. So we're going to say patina.
And it is patina. Good job.
Wow. See, summer camp I thought would be fun, but it is not fun.
They're just doing all the nerd stuff that Jeff likes.
Talking about Rick Pitino.
Okay, the next category is dance. With its inclusion in the 2010 video game Just Dance 2 and a 2021 viral dance challenge on TikTok, what biographical song, first released in 1978, has seen a well-deserved resurgence in popularity? The subject of the song was also immortalized in a popular 1997 animated film in which he was voiced by Christopher Lloyd.
All right, we will just lock in with a TikTok dance because we can't think of the right one.
The only ones that I can think of are not autobiographical, and they're also like old. So I can think of like Renegade, and I don't know. I'm on the wrong side of TikTok apparently. I just watch like baking videos on TikTok. So.
I think you might be on the correct side of TikTok. Yeah, we're at a complete loss. We're just gonna lock in jokingly with Hotel California by the Eagles.
Matt and I bandied about here. We talked about, Attention by Todrick Hall, with the Say So Dance by Doja Cat, and Super Lonely, but couldn't come up with the answer. And we figured out what animated movie Christopher Lloyd was in, and it kind of clicked, but I didn't recognize the dance. So we just tapped, and we locked in with the YMCA.
All right, so the clue that I gave about the movie from 1997, the movie was Anastasia, where he voiced Rasputin, which is the answer.
Neal is demonstrating the Rasputin right now in the studio, and you guys are missing out.
Yes,
sorry.
That's it.
Well, it's kind of. There's there's this one dude who dances that he puts on a frame lock on his face. So he wears cowboy boots, and he I don't know. It's hard to explain.
It's a pretty normal thing.
It's a normal thing.
Yeah.
All right, so the next category is baseball. In the classic baseball film The Sandlot, what professional baseball team does Benny the Jet Rodriguez eventually play for?
Oh.
He joined the team long after their move in 1958.
Steals home, if I recall.
He does with his PF Flyers. Not really, but when he's an adult.
Legendary play caller saying he's stealing home.
That is true.
Do you know it?
We're locked in.
We're locked
cool. Do you know this one, Kat?
I actually have never seen The Sandlot.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, I've seen it, and I've seen it somewhat recently. It happens to be Angie's favorite movie. So
yet you don't know the team.
How dare you? I think I'm guessing based on the year they moved. I believe they used to be in New York, and now they're in L.A. The Dodgers did move in the 50s, so I want to guess the L.A. Dodgers. So.
Yeah, called by Vin Scully when he steals home. It's L.A. Dodgers.
Yep, absolutely. It's the Los Angeles Dodgers. I liked the wistful nostalgia sigh that all of you gave when I said The Sandlot. It's such a good movie.
It's a great summer movie, especially in July.
Oh, absolutely.
The fireworks and everything, yeah.
Reminds me of Flintstones Push Pops.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's a good point. And Jeff always reminds me of Wendy Peppercorn, so it's a very fond memory.
Just because that one time I resuscitated you in the pool.
You did, and for some reason you were wearing a single red bathing suit. I don't know why.
All right, the next question's in the category of water skiing. Well, ice and snow are types of water, right? After the 1988 Winter Olympics in Calgary, what athlete inspired a namesake rule that tightened qualification rules to require Olympic athletes to place in the top 30% of competitors in an international competition prior to the Olympics? A film about this person's Olympic journey was released in 2016.
I think I know what film it is. I'm just really struggling to know if it came out in 2016 because it feels like it came out in 2018. But the past few years have been a blur with everything going on. So we're going to lock in. I don't know if it's right, but it's a guess.
Yeah, 2 years ago could have been 2020, 2018, 2016. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
The only Olympic movies I can think of right now is I, Tonya, so...
I had Cool Runnings, so that's about...
I also had Cool Runnings, yeah.
We were all thinking Cool Runnings.
How can you not?
Feel the rhythm.
This one's really bugging me because I've definitely heard this story. I think it was a male skier, and he was super terrible, but because he qualified for his country, even though he didn't qualify very high, he was still able to get in, and he was just a total disaster. But I don't know the name, so I think we're just going to have to tap. Unfortunately.
So this movie I haven't seen, but it starred two people that I enjoy, and I saw the trailer though, and I saw it was a true story, and I was kind of fascinated by the fact that it actually happened, and I believe it is a British skier played by Taron Egerton, and Hugh Jackman was his coach, and we locked in with Eddie the Eagle.
Yeah, Neil, you are right. It is Eddie the Eagle. Yeah, he was a ski jumper, and apparently I guess they just never had someone to send to the Olympics from the UK for ski jump. So he's like, I'm just going to ski jump. And he was absolutely terrible at it, but kind of was the people's champion in a way because he was just a lovely person. So it was a good movie. I would recommend
He's like the Philadelphia Eagles, the Mark Wahlberg Invincible.
Yeah, or the garbage picking, field goal kicking Tony Danza.
What a reference. That's really good.
All right, so the last question in the first round is in the category of Capture the Flag. The lyrics to the Star-Spangled Banner were written by Francis Scott Key after he witnessed a United States flag survive a naval bombardment of what U.S. fort in Baltimore?
Forts, huh?
Forts, yeah. What do you know about forts? Are they silent or loud?
Fort Minor?
Oh, that's a great fort. I remember that fort very well. Do you want to lock in with Fort Minor?
Well,
let's think. That's the Fort Sumter. Is that a real fort?
Fort Sumter is a thing.
I feel like that was in some sort of history book.
I'm sure it was.
I've read it in a history book.
Do you want to go Fort Sumter?
I was Googling history the other day. And
I'm a little scared because Kat lives in that area, I would believe. She probably knows.
Right. So we need to get it too.
Yeah. All right. We're going to lock in with Fort Sumter over here.
Fort Sumter is in Charleston. So
Charleston,
that's the
Baltimore?
only one that I can think of right now. But
Well, I guess we'll also incorrectly say Sumter.
All right, so no points there. The answer is Fort McHenry.
Oh, okay. After the first round, which was really cool, the theme of summer camp so far, looks like the team of the Birthday Boys picked up an extra 20 points, bringing their total to 48. And Anthony and Cleopatra also picked up an extra 20 points, bringing their total to 74. So before we hear what the swing round category is today, I just want to remind everyone that both Kat and Hayley are on Patreon. So if you'd like to join them in supporting the show and helping us upgrade our equipment and helping us continually grow the show, you can join them at patreon.com/Triviality Podcast. Recently, I had the privilege of sending Hayley a character box. She chose me for the character box option on the Rules Guy Impersonator level. And Hayley, I tried to surprise you a little bit. And was it a surprise?
Absolutely. And it was a very welcome surprise. So...
Oh, good. I sent her a small feral cat, and also
via the post
a gluten-free, vegan, and soy-free pancake mix.
So that's wonderful. And then also, if 220 episodes isn't enough for you, there is 30 to 50 more hours, depending on how much we've produced in the last couple months.
That is correct. You got a bunch of audio content, and also starting in this new year, it is January 3rd, we're actually going to do some live games.
Live games hosted on Twitch TV. You could play along with us as we host, and there might be prizes.
For all patrons.
For all patrons.
Any level.
Any level.
And we'll be using an app called Triv Now, if you're familiar with it. Any of you folks out there have been playing online streaming games with some of our friends, you'll recognize that app. Very easy to play.
So there'll be announcements in the crop. So if you're not a member of the crop on Facebook, join in and we'll put those out there.
So thank you very much again to Hayley and Kat. And join them at patreon.com/Triviality Podcast. Hayley, what is the swing round category?
So the swing round category, camp is a little bit of a step up from truly roughing it camping. And some of the best places in the world to go camping are in our U.S. national parks. Unfortunately, some people don't have great experiences and they take to Yelp to let people know that they did not like their experience. So what I have done is I have gone on Yelp and looked up 1-star reviews of various U.S. national parks. And I'm going to read off 10 of them for 10 points apiece. And I just need you to tell me what national park this person did not enjoy visiting. All right, so number 1. You are a giant hole in the ground. You were caused by erosion. You don't have roller coasters or Dippin' Dots. Yeesh, can you say overrated? Number 2. Okay, if you like cactus. 3. Delicate arch looks like it might fall over at any time. It might fall over in the future. Doesn't look anything like the license plate. Number 4. The one thing that makes this place different than the other parks is the geysers. I was extremely underwhelmed. They look so much better in the pictures. If you want a similar look, just boil a pot of water at home. Number 5. The thing is ugly as sin. It looks like half a McDonald's logo or a giant urinal. Number 6. At the time of our visit, half the road was closed due to snow. Well, there was no snow on the mountains, and being late June, it could not have possibly snowed there. Was there a UFO landing? Pretty fishy. Next is, first of all, there's wildlife everywhere. Who wants to run into a moose on the trail? What if it eats you? And the rangers are all way too friendly. It's like they're completely oblivious to all the suffering in the world. Finally, too many snow-capped mountains. I like to see the horizon at all times. It calms me. Next one is, when they turned all the lights off and told you to listen to the cave, Ranger Ashley would not stop talking. I am upset about this and wish I went to the distilleries instead. Right, number 9, the only thing I really got out of my visit was a whole lot of jokes containing the phrase thunderhole. And the last one, he informed us that if he tells us where the arch is and we actually go, we will create a dangerous situation for other visitors. Duh, go to hell, Ranger Dustin. You ruined our trip.
We are going to mull over these and get back with our answers.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become? Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
And we're back. Our answers are now locked in, so let's throw it back to Hayley to get these questions one more time, and we'll submit what we think are the correct answers.
So the first one was, you are a giant hole in the ground. You were caused by erosion. You don't have roller coasters or Dippin' Dots. Yeesh, can you say overrated?
Yeah, almost 100% sure that I've seen this one go viral at some point in time. I think this is the Grand Canyon.
And we also said the Grand Canyon.
Yep, you're right. It is the Grand Canyon. Right, number 2 was, okay if you like cactus.
This one, we weren't 100% sure. I think there's a Death Valley National Park, so we said Death Valley.
Yeah, we also guessed Death Valley.
Death Valley is a good guess. With the cactus I was trying to go for, it was Saguaro National Park in Arizona. Number 3, delicate arch looks like it might fall over at any time. It might fall over in the future. It doesn't look anything like the license plate.
I think that there's the St. Louis Arch on the Missouri license plate, but we're not sure, so we said the St. Louis Arch.
Yeah, and we were between arches and the Gateway Arch, and for this one we went with the Gateway Arch.
Should have went with the other arch, guys. It was Arches National Park, which is on the license plate of Utah. All right, number 4. The one thing that makes this place different than the other parks is the geysers. I was extremely underwhelmed. They look so much better in the pictures. If you want a similar look, just boil a pot of water at home.
Yeah, I think this is the one where you have to watch your picnic baskets. We said Yellowstone.
Nice joke there. We too said Yellowstone.
Yep, it was Yellowstone. All right, number 5. The thing is ugly as sin. It looks like half a McDonald's logo or a giant urinal.
This one, we're just going again with the St. Louis Arch.
And for this one, we said arches, so...
So the next sentence in the review was about how the St. Louis skyline looks like something out of a crappy 80s movie, and it is the Gateway Arch National Park.
Someone from Chicago wrote that, I guarantee it. We are haters.
Okay, number 6. At the time of our visit, half the road was closed due to snow. Well, there was no snow on the mountains, and being late June, it could not have possibly snowed there. Was there a UFO landing? Pretty fishy.
Ooh, I wasn't thinking, but the UFO one makes me think of Nevada now. But we said Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about the UFO either. We said Glacier.
It was Glacier National Park. Mm-hmm. Good job. Right, number 7. First of all, there's wildlife everywhere. Who wants to run into a moose on the trail? What if it eats you? And the rangers are all way too friendly. It's like they're completely oblivious to all the suffering in the world. Finally, too many snow-capped mountains. I like to see the horizon at all times. It calms me.
We were thinking maybe this is somewhere near Canada with all the friendly park rangers, so we said Niagara.
Yeah, and so we were thinking moose and mountaintops, and we said Denali.
The answer was actually Rocky Mountain National Park. I was kind of hoping with the mountains that because the Rocky Mountains are a range, but yeah.
Yeah, I was
So
like, I'm
number
pretty sure
8.
several of these fall on the Rocky Mountains. So.
Yeah.
So number 8. When they turned all the lights off and told you to listen to the cave, Ranger Ashley would not stop talking. I am upset about this and wish I went to the distilleries instead.
I think when our car broke down in Tennessee at one point in time, we ended up going to Ruby Falls, which was in the Smoky Mountains. So we said Smoky Mountains.
That's interesting. Kat had a good line on this one with the distilleries, which brought us to Kentucky. And I know Ken's mentioned that Mammoth Cave is in Kentucky, so we guessed Mammoth Cave.
Yeah, Kat picked up the distilleries hint there. Yep, it was Mammoth Cave National Park.
We made a mammoth mistake.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, number 9. The only thing I really got out of my visit was a whole lot of jokes containing the phrase thunderhole.
This one we had no idea. So we guessed Hoover Dam because I don't know, it might have been on there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and for this one, we guessed Acadia in Maine.
Yeah, so the thunderhole is kind of like there's like a coastal cave there, but when the waves kind of hit against it, it sounds like a clap of thunder, so they call it the thunderhole, and it is at Acadia National Park in Maine.
Yeah. That's a good guess.
I think it would help if we knew more than 5 national parks.
I think so. You're right.
All right. And then the last one is, he informed us that if he tells us where the arch is and we actually go, we will create a dangerous situation for other visitors. Duh. Go to hell, Ranger Dustin. You ruined our trip.
Yeah, we weren't really sure on this one. The only thing I could think of is when you go to Griffith Park in LA, they won't tell you where the Hollywood sign is because you're not supposed to actually go up there. So we said Griffith Park.
Smart. We think that they really don't want people going anywhere near the main arch in Arches National Park. So that's what we guessed.
So this one might have been a little too obscure. There is actually a natural arch formation at Joshua Tree National Park, and they don't want you to really go too close to it. So.
We were in the right state.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
After the swing round, it looks like the Birthday Boys picked up 30 points, and their total is now 78. And Anthony and Cleopatra picked up 40, bringing their total to 114. So right before we get to the second round, just wanted to quickly mention we've been getting some great reviews on iTunes. And thanks to our survey and all of those listeners who filled it out, we found out that a lot of you found our podcast just from a simple search. So in order to help us, if you could give us a review, that would be huge. Right, Matt?
That is true. Our most recent one still is about me fighting Jeff, and we want to change that to me fighting Neal, and then Ken, and then the whole gang.
All of the matriculations of one-on-one fighting in and among the Triviality guys.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we had some great reviews like that one. We had another one that was, these guys don't know how to play trivia, but I listen anyway. That was a nice one.
Mm-hmm. They're not wrong.
They're not wrong. So
that is an accurate review.
So we just appreciate any sort of review you can give us, and that'll help us with our searchability and helping new listeners find us and get into all the nonsense that we do each week. So thank you to everyone filling out those reviews. And if you haven't, just take a minute on either iTunes or your preferred podcast app or provider, and we'd appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, I believe round 2 is the tug of war. Is that how this works? I'm not familiar.
All right. So round 2, the first question is in the category of woodworking. The world's oldest tree is a Great Basin bristlecone pine whose genesis began 4,852 years ago. What is the very well-fitting name given to this tree?
Can you hear that one more time?
Yep. The world's oldest tree is a Great Basin bristlecone pine whose genesis began 4,852 years ago. What is the well-fitting name given to this tree?
I mean, I know that's a real
That's
tree.
the only tree that we know the name of.
Yeah.
So we don't know any other named trees.
I don't either. Do you want to go General Sherman?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll lock in with that.
I know Joshua trees live a long time. Joshua is a book in the Bible near Genesis.
Sense.
I don't know if they named it unless they named it Methuselah or something, because Methuselah is the person in the Bible who was said to have lived the longest. So you think maybe it's the Methuselah tree?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go with Methuselah.
Well, Jeff, you and Kat picked up on the Genesis hint. It is Methuselah.
Wow. That's an impressive poll.
That is.
969 years he was said to be.
Yep.
I only know that because the Guess Who have a song called 969. So,
Kat, do you mind?
So the second question's in the category of canoeing. In The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship canoes through a gate of sorts, comprised of 2 giant statues of men. What is the name of this monument? I'm unsure if there's any relation to Jason and the other heroes in search of the Golden Fleece.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called, though?
That is what they are called.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, we can. I mean, I know the second clue she gave. I don't know the Lord of the Rings clue, but
No, I mean, I don't. With me and you together, not a good combination for this type of question.
no. You just want to lock in with this then?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, we're locked in.
Well, I mean, I know it's Jason and the Argonauts.
Yep, I was thinking that too.
And I have definitely read Lord of the Rings and cannot. I'm fine with that if you don't have anything else, but
Yeah, it's really sad because I actually have these 2 on the other sides of the river from the Fellowship as bookends on my library shelves, but I can't remember if they have any more specific names than
They
that.
have a place in your home and you don't know their name.
Yeah, a lot of things do.
Kat, what's your take
Mostly
on Lord of the
spiders.
Rings? Do you like
Yeah.
it?
yeah, I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Is that like the one push you needed to finally watch it?
The Kat likes it? No, I just was curious.
I'm just hoping one more, like each additional push will get you there.
Who knows when that day will come?
Mm-hmm. Maybe when we reach 7,000 patron members.
Yeah.
Stretch goal.
We'll definitely be dead by then, so this podcast will just be living in the ether and we'll just have patrons.
When Methuselah is hosting the show, because he's the only one left.
I'm good locking in Argonauts. I think that's a smart guess.
Yeah, we were torn between the Voorheeses and the Argonauts, and we ended up going with the Argonauts.
So the actual gate itself is called the Argonath, which similar. I don't know.
We both said the same wrong answer, so let's give us some points.
It's a wash either way.
We had the right idea. Points for everyone. We're a friendly game.
That's what I said. Argonauts.
Happy New Year. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So the actual answer is the Argonath.
Yeah, and it's Isildur and Anarion are the 2 that were.
Yeah.
Okay, so question 3 is in the category of scavenger hunt. The manhunt for what notorious individual ended at the Garrett Farm in Port Royal, Virginia?
Kat, I think I know this.
Jeff's knowledge of serial killers paying off again.
Who said it was a serial killer?
I mean, I know there's that famous robber D.B. Cooper, but I don't think...
No, didn't he
They never found him.
Yeah,
they never found him.
He was Loki. Spoiler, if you saw the show.
And for some reason, I was going to say D.B. Sweeney, but that's an actor. And I didn't, from The Cutting Edge.
E.B. Du Bois.
Yeah. Did they get Capone?
I was going to suggest Capone.
I'm trying to think of The Untouchables. They did go to the country where it was really cold at the end of that movie.
And he was hiding out for tax evasion.
Yeah.
And he was very notorious.
Yeah, and it was the FBI, so it would have been a nationwide manhunt.
Oh, and maybe in Virginia. That's where FBI's headquarters.
Okay. Yeah, do you want to go Capone?
We're going to go Capone.
All right, Kat. I don't know what your thoughts on this were. I did lock in pretty quickly for us, so hopefully this doesn't sound too stupid. But Matt said my knowledge of serial killers might come in handy here, and I don't think this person was a serial killer, but they did famously kill Abraham Lincoln. So I think this is John Wilkes Booth.
Yep, it absolutely was John Wilkes Booth.
Sic Semper Tyrannis. Is that what he said?
Oh, I thought you were saying that to me.
Allegedly.
Oh. Allegedly? Okay, at least I pulled that correctly, and I can't name a national park, but I pulled that for some reason.
Okay, so the next question is in the category of tie-dyeing. Tie-dye techniques have been used for centuries in the Hausa region of West Africa, particularly with renowned indigo dye pits located around the city of Kano in what country?
Yeah, I like that. I think I've seen a video on this, but I couldn't pull the name, but that sounds right to me.
It's definitely West African.
Yeah.
So we are locked in.
Wow. What are your thoughts, Kat?
Geography's always been a blank spot for me.
Yeah, I don't really know it from geography. The names don't ring any particular bells. As far as West African countries, I mean, Nigeria is probably the most famous, certainly one of the most populated in that area. You have, other things like Gabon, Niger, Chad, Mali. I want to just guess Nigeria. I mean, it's a bigger country. It's very populated, so we'll just guess Nigeria.
Home to Sam Obisanya.
It is.
Matt, you had a great guess, and I feel like it makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like I had heard the town name before. I'm not 100% sure, but I was thinking that this was Ghana.
Well, Jeff, you did pull it out. It is Nigeria.
Man.
Well done.
As soon as when you said Ghana, I was like, oh, I hadn't thought of that. That's smart, but I'll take the points.
And I'll take the kudos for a smart answer.
You're a good trivia player, Matt. I don't.
This is the point in camp where we're sweaty, we're tired, we go back to the cabin.
No, we have been doing arts and crafts, and we have glued the popsicle sticks to our heads. That's
exactly.
us. We are those kids.
We're going back to the cabin, opening up the trunk, and getting the candy bars that we hid from the counselors.
We're getting swirlies.
That's actually where Ken secretly is today. He was eating the glue at the camp, and he's been hospitalized.
How sad.
I think everyone had a student in kindergarten or camp or something that ate glue, because I know I did. She used to lick the glue off the
Oh, I thought you were the kid.
No, I never did that.
Those kids have graduated to Tide Pods, from what I heard.
I think so. I think you're right. That's the modern day version of eating glue in kindergarten. But yeah, we can move on to question 5, so we don't incriminate ourselves by eating glue here.
All right, so question 5 is in the category of cooking. If I asked you to cook something by submerging it directly in water that is roughly between 70 to 80 degrees Celsius, what cooking method am I asking you to use?
Yes.
Why did we both fist pumped at the same time? Like, yeah.
We're going to lock in. We're really excited about this
Thanks,
one.
Uncle Howard.
Kat, I know you bake a bit. Do you cook quite a bit too?
The first thing I popped into my head was parboil, but I don't know if that's anything.
No, I like parboil because it's not quite boiling temperature, right? Because that would be 100 Celsius. Right. And I think if you sous vide something, it has to be, because she said right into the water. Sous vide is usually like in a vacuum bag. So I'm pretty sure. So I like parboil.
Sure.
Let's go with parboil.
Well, our fist pumps are a little less now because now we're not 100% sure. We immediately said sous vide, and we think that it's sous vide, but we weren't sure. But we locked in with sous vide.
It's actually poaching.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, sous vide is pretty similar, but with the directly in water would be poaching. Otherwise, it needs to be in some kind of bag or...
I think I heard the beginning of the question and then blacked out and assumed I was right.
I was just so excited that you were like, sous vide.
I did too, because we only got one question right this round, and I figured it would make us feel better to get it right. But after 5, we only picked up 10 points, bringing our score to 88, as in 88 miles per hour, where some serious will happen. And Anthony and Cleopatra picked up 40 points, bringing their total to 154 currently.
All right, so question 6 is in the category of drama. It was a beautiful morning in 2019 when Hayley Stroik became the first actor who uses a wheelchair to be nominated for and win a Tony Award. What musical did she perform in to earn this award?
Oh, finally, one in my wheelhouse. We're going to lock
in. She was Aunt May in Spider-Man the Musical.
I've heard this. I've heard this.
I definitely watched... Wow, I'm bringing shame to my theater major right now. Well, Beautiful Morning makes me think Oklahoma, and I know there was a revival.
Yeah. I think that's the right answer. Yeah, Oh, What a Beautiful Morning is definitely from Oklahoma. So, yeah, let's go Oklahoma.
To quote Matt many times, get out of here. All right, so she played Ado Annie in the musical Oklahoma. That's what we locked it with.
Yep, the answer is Oklahoma. Good job. Okay, so question 7's in the category of ghost stories. In A Christmas Carol, what is the name of the first ghost that visits Ebenezer Scrooge on Christmas Eve night? One of the most memorable versions of this character was brought to life by an actor named Statler.
Do you know this one, Kat?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, we'll lock in.
Okay, so they're locked in. So
Cratchit? Or no, Cratchit's the name of the guy that works for him.
I was pretty sure that it starts with a J.
With a J.
Like a...
Jimmy, Johnny.
Hoffa.
Jimmy, Johnny.
It's not like it's an old person name.
It's not Cratchit. Is it Cratchit? Or is Cratchit the name of the dude that works for him that he's an to? And he has Tiny Tim as his son.
Hold on.
Morley?
Yes.
Jacob Morley.
Oh
my God.
There you go.
Oh, what a man. This is the
greatest. I knew it started with a J.
This is the greatest day of my life. We're locking in with Jacob Morley.
I need to make a judgment call here because it's actually Jacob Marley, like Bob Marley.
Oh, that's just how he pronounces Marley.
That's my New Jersey accent.
Morley and me. my favorite movie.
Oh no.
I looked at Kat when he said that, and I was like, I think he's wrong.
Yeah, because it was Marley.
We'll take the wrong. We stink this
we
game.
stink. That's fine.
It's all that glue in our mouth.
But yeah, it was Jacob Marley.
Jacob Marley. Oh my god.
Yeah. And Bob Cratchit is the guy that works for him that has Tiny Tim. All right, so the next question is in the category of pottery. Also, speaking of ghosts, since I would be remiss to not include a question even remotely related to Patrick Swayze, what is the name of the song playing during the famous pottery wheel scene in the film Ghost? The song peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in 1965.
It's this one, right?
Yes. Yeah, we can lock in.
Yeah, I knew it too.
Why don't I remember this?
No ghosting in the pottery class.
I know. That I remember.
They play the song.
Do they?
Yeah. They paid for that song from 1968.
If the song played, I definitely could tell you what it was from. Like I could, but I can't do it the other way around.
It's funny because I just hear Careless Whisper when I see that scene in my head. I don't know why.
Same. That was exactly what was playing through my head.
Which is definitely not from 1965. Do you want to just joke Careless Whisper? Because I'm struggling over here. We will say George Michael's Careless Whisper. He would have been about 2 or 3 years old, but
talented man.
Tonight the music. Yeah. So we knew this one right away. This is by the Righteous Brothers, and we said Unchained Melody.
Yep, absolutely. It is Unchained Melody.
Fun fact about Unchained Melody, when you listen to the lyrics, a lot of people think it's about it's a love song and whatnot, but it's actually originally from a movie called Unchained, about a person in jail, and he's singing about longing to be back into the regular world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so question 9 is in the category of swimming and diving. What is the name of the diver who hit their head against the springboard before going on to win 2 gold medals at the 1988 Seoul Olympics?
We can lock in.
I'm really struggling here because I can kind of see his face.
Mm-hmm.
Very famous diver. I believe there's a little bit of controversy because he bled, and he was he had HIV, and I guess that wasn't public information at the time, so there was a little bit of a controversy there.
So you know everything except the person's name.
Yeah, famous. But it. So I guess we're gonna have to tap. It seems like the other team might know it though.
Yeah, I remember this distinctly because when I was a little kid, we watched it a ton on TV, and then it came up after that when he was in the public eye, and I remember my mom and I talking about it and her telling me about what happened, and we locked in with Greg Louganis.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. It is Greg Louganis. I've seen clips of that where he hits his head. It's absolutely horrific. It's not a good
I had the right story. Yeah, that's kind of what happened around him. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so the last question in regulation is in the category of painting. In 2014, British artist Anish Kapoor bought exclusivity rights for artistic use of what paint, which was developed by Surrey Neurosystems.
Oh, yes. We all know this one. Yes?
Yep, I believe so. I think we're going to lock in.
Mm-hmm.
Does this one sound familiar to you, Kat?
I don't know. Do you know it or?
I think it's one of these. I remember there was a whole controversy where he bought like Blackest Black, I want to say.
Like, isn't it called like Vanta Black or something?
Vanta Black, yeah, like Blackest Black. And then somebody made like a Pinkest Pink or something and like told Anish Kapoor he couldn't buy it. So I think it is Vanta Black. I think that's kind of the story with that one. So yeah, Vanta Black's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the AC/DC classic Vanta Black. That's a stretch.
The answer is Vanta Black. Good job.
All right. What a way to end the second round there. It looks like team Biker Boys. I'm getting it wrong.
Biker Boys from Mars.
You? Are you riding bicycles with training wheels? Or
we ride tandem bicycles in leather.
A birthday bike for 2.
We picked up 40 points, bringing our total to 128, but still in the lead and crushing us, picking up 20 in that second half with 174 points is the Antony and Cleopatra. So what are our final round categories, Hayley?
So the final round categories are all campfire songs. So the first category is The Song That Doesn't End. The second is Down by the Bay. Number 3 is Home on the Range. Number 4 is Where Has My Little Dog Gone? And 5 is A Boy and a Girl in a Little Canoe.
Okay, all the wagers are locked in. And for the listener, just to make it easy, it looks like Team Birthday Boys are going to go 20 all the way down. And the team of Anthony and Cleopatra are going to go 10 points all the way down.
All right, so the first question's in the category of the song that doesn't end. This earworm was used as the end credit song for a popular children's television show featuring Sherry Lewis, a beloved puppeteer, and a host of her animal friends. The show was named after her most famous puppet. What is her name? All right, number 2, Down by the Bay. The United Nations Charter was drafted and ratified in 1945 in what U.S. city? In Home on the Range, the Wild West outlaw partners Robert Leroy Parker and Harry Longabout were better known by what names? No word on if Harry knew his name would pack a big punch in the film industry. In Where Has My Little Dog Gone? What iconic comic strip character was born at the Daisy Hill Puppy Farm? And finally, in A Boy and a Girl in a Little Canoe, generally placed across the center of a canoe, what is the name of the rounded piece of plastic or wood designed to help you carry the canoe? Classic computer game fans might remember having to purchase some of these in Independence, Missouri for your oxen.
Okay, we're going to go over these questions and be back with our answers. All right, we have locked in our answers. Let's go back to the questions and we will see how this turns out.
Right, so the first question was, this earworm was used as the end credit song for a popular children's television show featuring Sherry Lewis, a beloved puppeteer and a host of her animal friends. The show was named after her most famous puppet. What was her name?
We wagered 20 points on all of these questions, going semi-big. We're 100% sure that this was Lamb Chop and it was her play-along, so Lamb Chop.
Yep. For 10, we agree. We said Lamb Chop.
Yep, points all around. It is Lamb Chop.
Pretty sure I have the stuffed doll in my attic somewhere.
Right, question 2 was in the category of Down by the Bay. The United Nations Charter was drafted and ratified in 1945 in what U.S. city?
We weren't 100% sure. The only city we could think of that had Bay in the title was Tampa Bay, and we don't think it's that. So we were looking at somewhere in San Francisco, in California near the Bay. So we were torn between Oakland and San Francisco, but we locked in with San Francisco.
Kat, yeah, you had a good thought on this?
Yeah, I caught on to the same thing with the Bay, and we also said San Francisco.
Yep, points all around. It is San Francisco.
That's where I left my heart after Neal broke it.
All right, so question...
Where I had my rice-a-roni. I'll continue.
Question 3 was in the category of Home on the Range. The Wild West outlaw partners Robert Leroy Parker and Harry Longabout were better known by what names? No word on if Harry knew his name would pack a big punch in the film industry.
Yeah, when I first heard the question, I wasn't listening for some reason to the second half because I was like, oh, maybe it's Bonnie and Clyde, but they weren't in the Old West. But then when I heard film industry, I realized that is Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah, we, for 10, said the same thing. We said Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yep, you guys both picked up on the Sundance Film Festival hint there. That was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Did not, but thank you. We definitely did that. I mean, yes, we had that the whole time.
Yeah, obviously.
All right, question 4 was in the category of Where Has My Little Dog Gone? What iconic comic strip character was born at the Daisy Hill Puppy Farm?
We think that this is a character who's got his own movie coming out relatively soon, or probably already came out. We said Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Oh, I thought this was Snoopy.
It was Snoopy.
Oh, we didn't even think of Snoopy. How dumb are we?
All right, and then question 5 was in the category of A Boy and a Girl in a Little Canoe. Generally placed across the center of a canoe, what is the name of the rounded piece of plastic or wood designed to help you carry the canoe? Classic computer game fans might remember having to purchase some of these in Independence, Missouri for your oxen.
This one, we knew exactly what you were talking about from Oregon Trail. We knew that you had to buy rations and bullets and whatnot, and we knew it's the thing that you put on the back of the oxen to pull the wagon, like the flat piece of wood.
You buy your slash, and then you buy your axle.
Yeah, so we just thought maybe it was axle, even though you buy that also for the wagon, but that's what we locked in with.
Yeah, and we talked about axle as well, but we locked in with yoke.
Yeah, Kat came in with yoke, which I think is the right answer.
Yep, oxen come two to a yoke. So yoke is the correct answer.
Got to yoke them together.
Now the yoke's on us.
All right. Well, after regulation, the entire game, everything is over. That's all she wrote. Looks like Team Birthday Boys is going to end with 148, but batting perfect in that final round, picking up 50 points, is today's cream of the crop with 224 points. Anthony and Cleopatra.
The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Ah, kings of summer camp. Kings and queens of summer camp.
Exactly.
Yes. I believe that I was crowned the Swamp Thing. Is that a title I can?
Yeah, you can have that.
Okay.
What a great game by both of you. Great competitors. And Hayley, just a wonderfully themed and written game that you brought to us today.
Well, thank you. It was fun I just kind of came up with a theme. I was like, I have to do this now.
Yeah. The official camp counselor of Triviality. We appreciate it.
Ooh, I like that. The official camp counselor. And I think Matt and I are both in the infirmary with mosquito bites all over our body. Yeah. And different lotions and stuff.
They're out of calamine lotion. It's been a rough time.
Or you're in the Parent Trap with the isolation cabin where they're up at the way top of the mountain. If you haven't seen that.
Okay. Well, I know the only camp Matt and I would ever go to would be Camp Nowhere with Christopher Lloyd at the helm, being able to have fun and do whatever we want. But Kat, you were an amazing competitor today. You and Jeff really did a number on us. So anyone that you'd like to shout out to, the floor is yours. We just really appreciate you being here today and for your support as well.
Yeah, thank you. This is a lot of fun. I guess a shout out to my camp friends, because I went to a science fiction and fantasy writing summer camp when I was a kid, which is awesome. Maybe the opposite of like typical summer camp. But yeah, so I guess shout out to them, and then to my dad, who's my pretty consistent pub quiz partner.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, yeah, shout out to your dad. And that sounds like the coolest camp ever. So that's awesome that even exists. And Hayley, this, like I said, this was a wonderful game, had a really cool theme to it. Even though it's cold and wintry here in January, it made us long for the summer and the warmness. But anyone you'd like to shout out to, or any last statements from you today?
Yeah, so as Jeff said earlier, there was a lot of vitriol towards park rangers. So just be nice to park rangers and people that are, out there doing their jobs. It's a trying time for everyone. So just be a little kind to everyone. That's all I would want to say about that.
I will say, Neal, I know you're longing for summer to return, but the good news is we can still sleep in our bunk beds. So
that is true. And we have a 3-tiered bunk bed with you, me, and Matt. And then Ken usually comes around with his whistle and short shorts and tells us to quiet down because it's past bedtime. But yeah, thank you very much, Hayley, for bringing this game today, and also for wearing an exclusive Triviality t-shirt, which you can find at our store at TeePublic, or go to our website, trivialitypodcast.com, and click merchandise. And for anyone that doesn't use a podcast app, if you just want to hear the episodes, you can just go straight to our website on the main page, and you can listen to them there. But thank you very much to Kat for joining us again, Hayley for joining us today with her game, for Ken, who is ice climbing, for Matt, Jeff, and myself. My name is Neal, and that was Triviality.
What is the well-fitting name given to this tree?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We both wrote down Phil Collins.
I could feel it calling in the air tonight.